始了，是吗？
Hello everyone, welcome to Gyro Talk, and I am Yasmin. This is Weichi. This is Jeff. Today
Hi,
we are
你好。
here to talk about the maintenance of your agricultural drone. So Weichi, when did you join this industry?
I think
Like
it's
20
2016. 2016.
Well, that's quite early. It's kind of one of the earliest pilots of this agricultural drones industry.
Yes.
So I heard that you come from Chengdu, right?
Yeah.
You have pandas.
Yeah. In my city, yes, of course.
So if anyone have seen the pandas in China before, wow, so many people come from different countries.
Great.
Have you guys have been to China to see pandas? If yes, please type 0 in our live chat box. Okay, Chengdu, someone say that. And Jeff is one of our most experienced engineer in XAG and has been with us since the first day of our overseas business. So let's say hello to our audience. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
你好。
So we will do this live stream series on YouTube on this channel, Gyro, and you can follow us. And we will do this in a regular way. And you can subscribe our channel. And you can say on the top of our screen, and you can also join our Facebook community. So the group name is displayed on the screen. Are you guys nervous?
No.
So
Yeah,
we are
relax,
not, we
relax.
are not
I'm trying to relax
nervous
myself,
at
okay.
all, but we need to pretend to be. Because at least it's our first time to do the live stream, we need to be pretend to be kind of nervous. All right, let's get to the point. So our today's live stream will be divided into 3 parts: the propulsion system, the spring system, the power management. So Weichi or Jeff will firstly describe the principle of our system, and then we will come to the Q&A part. So let's come to the first part, propulsion system.
Okay.
You
So let's
also
begin.
prepare something like?
Yeah. So please handle this picture for
Okay.
me.
Wow. The
Propulsion
diagram,
system.
Yeah,
please
this
give
is the
the close-up
diagram
of
for,
the diagram.
For our propulsion system.
So what's this line?
It's the it's the P40. We will make the example for the P40. So we can see there are 3 different colors: blue, red, and yellow. So the blue one, that means it's only the signal, and the red one it's the power, and the yellow one it's the signal plus the power. So
Both.
first we look at the red one. Okay, it's all we know all our energies. It's powers. It's come from the battery, and it comes from the tail plug. So the tail plug will have the power lines to our systems. So the first one is to the ESC. Okay, there are 4 ESCs for P40. Okay, here we have a real.
Let's see the real case.
Yeah, here I have a real arm of arm number 2. Okay, let's see. Here is the tail plug, and the first one,
The power.
is the power. The power goes to directly to connect with the ESC. It is here.
I see.
Yeah, it's connecting with the ESC. Okay,
I see.
to here. Yeah,
Directly
To
there. Okay, I
the
see.
to the ESC. So we have 4 of them. I just make the example for one of them. We have 4.
I see.
Okay, and the second one is to the
Hub.
ESC hub.
Yes.
ESC hub.
Yeah, that's
And-
this one.
Yeah, it's this one. Okay, in my hand. Sorry, it's
it's kind of
yeah a lot of
Messy.
cables.
Too many cables.
Too many cables. Okay, it is here. This
Yeah.
one. Okay, in my hand, and it's directly to the tail plug. Okay, that is the power system. Okay, and now it becomes to the blue one, to the signal. The first one is the tail plug directly to the flight controller, and that is the flight controller how to get the informations from the batteries. Okay, it is here. Sorry.
I saw robots
Yeah.
from the
Here, its name is PLD, and it's directly to
Connect to the
the
flight control.
Yeah, to the flight controller. So it will read the information for the batteries. For example, if this line is broken, you may power on whole system, but you cannot read the information from the battery. The battery will get offline, so you may check this cable. Okay, and the second one is the ESC to the ESC hub. Okay, the ESC to the ESC hub. Here we have a cable here to the ESC hub, and it is here on the ESC hub, and it's M2. Okay, and that is only for the signal.
M2.
So that's with the short blue
Yeah,
line.
the short blue lines, it's here. Okay, and the ESC will give the signal to the ESC hub. Okay, and the last one is the yellow one. So here we have a cable, very important. It's connect between the flight controller and the ESC hub. So at first, it is here. Its name is PTS.
PTS.
Yeah,
Yes.
PTS. It's directly connect with the flight controller. Its name is PTS. So it will power on the flight controller. If you cannot power on your flight controller, maybe this line have some problem. So you need to check it. And the second one is it will give the informations about the ESCs, the motors, all the information for our motors and the ESCs are come from this line.
I see.
Okay, and the last one is the connection between the ESC and the motors. Okay, here it is. Actually, there are 3 cables here. Okay, and you were collecting the information, the rotation speed of the motors, and it will give the orders to the motors to rotate. Okay, and give the power also. So it gives the signal and the power. Okay, oh, that's all.
So, how do we do the maintenance of the propulsion system?
Okay, I will use.
So demonstrate
yeah.
for us.
Yeah, I will demonstrate directly. So first is the propellers. Okay, that is very important because that's the power. All the powers becomes to the propellers. So first we need to check if there are any cracks or broken on the propellers. If they are just a
Little
one, you need to change it because during the flight you will have the vibration and it may broken during the flight. For example, it is full load and there is a little broken and maybe we didn't have enough power to supply the drone, it will have the crash.
Yeah.
So that is very important. We need to check the propeller first. Okay.
I see.
So
And the
then-
second one is the propeller clamps. Okay, we need to also check if there are anything broken on it. And also we need to check here. Use your hand
the
to check
blade.
the blade, the connection between the blade and the clamp. It shouldn't not be too tight or too loose. No, it's normal like this.
Okay.
Okay, and next one is the motor. Okay, very important. And we can use our hand to move it. Okay, that's normal. But if it's very hard to move it, and when you move it, you heard some noise. So maybe there are something inside. So you can wash it. Okay, you can wash it. Use the water, and I suggest you to move it to the arms and then wash it. Okay, and
Then if
Here. you can watch the colors for this.
become black
Okay.
or
Yeah, normally it's like
kind of
this.
aging.
Yeah, if it is become black, that means you need to already change it.
Okay.
Okay, and then it comes to the connection between the ESC and the motors. There are 3 cables here. So firstly, you need to check the connection here. You need to check this place because when it's do the operation, there are some vibrations. They may broken here. So first you need to check here. Then we need to check the 3 cables. Look at the color. Normally it's like this. Okay. If it's become black, you can clean it. If you cannot clean it, it needs to
Replace
change.
it.
Yeah, replace the whole motors. Okay, and you must be check the connection between these cables are stable.
Yep.
Yeah. Then to the ESC. Okay. First to the ESCs. First we need to check these 3 cables comes from the motors.
Motor.
Okay. Then we need to check it for the signal to the
If it's
ESC hub
normal.
and these 2
red.
power lines. Okay. It's normal. Okay. Here you need to check it here. Then let's go to the ESC hub because on the ESC hub it is only the signal lines. You don't need to check the connection. It just needs to check it's not broken. Okay, here. And then the last one, not the last one, sorry. And then the connection between the tail plug and the ESC. Okay, it's the same as the motors. Okay, we have two plug here. We need to check the color, just like before.
Yeah.
And we need to also check the connection is very stable. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the last one is the tail plug. Okay, we must be check it if it's clean.
Yeah.
Okay, if there are something
So
on
you
it.
use alcohol to.
Yeah, you can use it, but it must be dried after you clean it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that's all.
Yeah. Thank you for Wei's explanation on this propulsion systems principle and how and this structure. We can see many people have come in our live room. Our friends from Moldova and Dubai, Turkey, Australia, UK. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Because our live stream is for end users aiming to solve your real problems that you are facing now. So if when you post your questions in the live chat box, you can briefly introduce your background, like in the format of the country / what problems you have met and / and your drone model. Okay. So could you type your questions now? Okay, we will wait for like 5 seconds, and during this duration, actually we have collected some questions from our Facebook community. So about the propulsion system, and questions from Robert Pearson. Hi Robert, are you there? And his question is, after how many flying hours should the motors be replaced?
Yeah, I can answer this question. Actually, it's not depends how many hectares you need to change the motors. It depends on the operation times. Normally, the life of our motors is 200 hours.
200 hours.
Yeah, for example, because there are different parameter settings for different crops. For example, it's difference between the rice and the trees.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe on the trees you are very slow, but in the rice you fly at very fast. So there are difference. Okay, each flight will have each. It's different. So it depends on the operation times. Okay, we suggest you to change it every 200 hours operation.
Okay. There is a similar question. How many acres of operation does the motor need to be replaced? Is the same. Actually, we have answered that. The second one, do propellers need to be replaced regularly? Propellers.
Okay. Actually, the propellers don't need to replace it regularly. You just need to check it every
time you do the
operation. Not every time you do the operation. Every time you do the maintenance.
Okay,
you need to check I already said you need to check the propellers. If there are anything broken on it, you need to replace it. But if it is normal, you didn't need to change it. You can continue to use it. Okay.
And the third, can the motor be flushed with water?
Yes.
I guess yes, it can be.
It can be flushed by the water.
You need to dry it, right?
Yes.
After
And
that.
I suggest you when you because when you want to flush the water, you need to there are something inside.
Okay.
So I suggest you to remove it from the arm and wash it separately. Because yes, of course, our system is IP67. It's waterproof, but to protect our ESC and the whole system, and
try to avoid the water.
So I suggest you to remove it and wash it. And when it's already to be washed, you need to dry it. Then to install it. Yeah.
The last question from the UK: do the rotors need to be replaced after a certain number of hours if they are not damaged in any way? It's quite similar.
Sorry.
Do the rotors need to be replaced after a certain number of hours if they are not damaged in a way? It's quite similar to the motors.
it's already the rotors is already
Yeah.
inside the motors, so it's the same.
And
It's
yeah, it's
there.
quite the same. Can the ESC be interchangeable between V40 and P40?
Oh, that's a good question. Sorry, it's not exchangeable.
It's not
this one.
interchangeable.
Yeah, this one, it's not exchangeable because.
But it looks like the same.
Yeah, it looks like same, but it's not exchangeable because the V40 have a servo. The P40 doesn't have it. So actually, they are the same. This one is the same, but V40 have an extra cable to the
Okay.
servo, so they are
see.
not exchangeable.
Thank you for Wages answering. Let's see what kind of question they're asking. Auto spray system, will the app advise when motors reach 200 hours?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. We advise you to change the motor when it's over 200 hours, even even it is looks like normal. Okay, our motors have the life. Maybe over 200 hours, they may be broken.
But our audience questions: will the app advise you
Oh, sorry.
to change that?
No, sorry, our apps not
But
advise
they
you.
can
It
check
won't-
their
it won't be-
operation records.
Yes,
yeah?
yes, we have the operation records. So you need to take care about your operation hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Millington Vegas from Ecuador, is P40 still making propellers?
P20. Yeah.
Oh, P20 is still making propeller spare parts. It's
Dear
quite
friends,
old-
that's not the technical question. I think
not
that
related.
You need to ask
Sales-
our
Sales
Self-representative.
representative.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. First
Okay.
ask our distributors,
Hey,
and then
Larry.
they will ask us.
Okay, so we can come to the next part, to the spraying system. Actually, one of the most important system of our agricultural drone. So let's give the floor to Jeff.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi.
Friends, thank you for staying
Okay.
with us, and I bet you have learned a lot. I have actually taken out all those spray systems and listed here. But before I start, I would like to ask you a question. What is the ultimate purpose of an agriculture drone?
Advancing
Ultimate
agriculture.
purpose.
Yeah, what
To
do you
the
think?
spray, to the spray, to the flight operation, advancing agriculture.
Yeah, sure. Spraying, yeah.
Spraying,
Spraying to spray all the chemicals and kill the pests
Pesticide,
and
yep.
pesticides and everything. That's our ultimate. That's why spray system is so important.
Yeah.
Why there is a drone? They have to carry out all these liquids and then spray onto our crops and protect our crops. Okay. So let me start our introduction about the spray system. Here are the components. We have all these components. The first one should be the
Liquid
smart tank, the
tank.
biggest one.
Yeah, the tank.
And then that's the connector between the tank and
To the
the spray hub. And then that is the pump. And the last one is
Nozzle.
the nozzle. And actually, the nozzles and the pumps, they are linked together. And we can check about the flow of the liquids. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, the liquids comes from here, nozzle, and goes to the inlet of the pump, and then goes directly to this
Nozzle.
nozzle. So it's quite simple. The liquid flow is quite simple. However, to ensure the spray is efficient
Atomization.
and effective, we have a lot of controls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's check about how they control. First of all, when the liquid comes here and to the nozzle, we need to control how much the amount of
Yeah.
the
Yes.
flows. Okay. So here I have already opened up one pump.
Close up.
Yeah.
Can we
That's
close?
the peristaltic pump. This is quite special, and this one can actually control the flow from the tank
Tank.
to the nozzle. But by just rotating the rotors inside. Okay, it's just the best feature of this nozzle, this pump, is precision. It was actually designed for medical use, not just for agricultural use.
Wow.
So, because every time every rotation of these rotors inside this pump will squeeze out
The flow.
a certain amount of liquid to the nozzle. So it can be very precise. And it depends on the speed. So by controlling the speed of the rotors inside, it can control the actual amount of the liquids. So it can be very precise. So, but how to control the speed? We also need to have some kind of, we call that electronic speed control system.
Yeah.
So it's exactly like the
ESC.
motors, like in the
Electronic
motor
speed
system.
controller.
Yeah.
However, this one is inside here. This one is the spraying control hub. I wonder if you can take a look at that. You can see all the sockets
Socket.
here. And all these sockets can connect all those components together. Just like this, the first one, just like this. This one is from the liquid tank. That's here. And then we have the nozzle, the pump. And then the nozzle. The nozzle is here. I have taken only one, so you can see only half of them are connected. And you can see all these tubes are long, and also the cables is long because they have to go through the arm
The whole-
tube. Yeah, they have to go through all this the arm tube. And this spray control hub plays a role as the electronic speed control and also the exchange of signals between the pumps and also the flow meters, which is installed inside the liquid tank. It will measure how much liquid still left inside the tank and tells and exchange information from here. And also the pump will tell the hub how fast they are running. And when they need to exchange information, the most important thing is to connect to the brain,
Yeah, the flight controller.
the flight control.
So how
So
does it
we
become-
have
The
this. Okay.
Yeah, we have a second PLD.
Yeah, the PLD will connect here. That's the signal. So sometimes if you find that the spray system is offline, you may check whether this cable is connected well.
Flight controller.
Yeah, because they have to recognize it from this, from flight control to the hub, spray hub. And also for power supply, we also have another power supply from
Yeah,
the
it's
power
just
plant. Okay.
it's the same as the ESC hub, and it is
Yes,
on the same.
yes.
It is here. Well, so
can
much
check
cables. Yeah, it is here.
It's here?
I found it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We can check the power supply. And power also comes to this hub and distribute to the pump and nozzles. And of course to other sensors. So they have sensors and mechanic structures. They all exchange their information through this hub and communicate with flight control. And when the order comes flight control, and they will distribute all the signals to all these mechanical devices. And they will also tell their status to our flight control. I think that's all for our spray system. Although that this nozzle is quite need to be introduced separately
Centrifugal.
because centrifugal, and that's
Optimization.
the major part which can spray the whole liquid into atomizer.
Centrifugal
Atomize all
atomization.
these
So we
liquids.
separate
Yeah.
our actually we separate our flow rate and
Yeah, yeah.
You
they
will
are
separate
The
separated.
size, the size.
Yeah.
the size of the droplets we separated.
Yeah.
So the pump will control the flow rate, and this one will control the droplet size.
Yeah, that's why when you are setting your spraying parameters, you can set the spray volume,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the dosage,
Yeah.
and also the
Droplet size.
droplet size,
Yeah, droplet size of the
atomization
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite
that's why.
almost many patents. You can
Yeah, yeah,
find
yeah.
that on the website of WIPO. So
So I think that's all, and I wonder whether our audience have any questions about this. And this is not very complicated, so we
need
can have
to
this
talk about how
pump,
to do the
nozzle,
maintenance.
and hub. That's the most important things. Okay.
Yeah. So could you briefly introduce how to do the maintenance of this spray system?
Yeah.
So before
About
because this
maintenance,
time
it's actually everybody, if they have the experience working on the farm, they will know that after every operation, not actually every day after their work,
Yeah.
they will come to wash their
Wash.
tools, just
Yes.
like this. Okay, you need to wash the tank,
liquid tank.
and also use the fly test function to actually to dry out all these liquids, chemicals inside this. But first of all, you can use clean water to dry to wash out all these residues
Components.
of the chemicals.
Yeah.
And then you can use soapy water.
Yes.
I suggest you use soap water.
Neutralize.
Yes, because soap water is alkaline.
Yeah.
However, most of the chemicals you use, like the pesticides, like the herbicides, they are acid.
Yeah.
So it's suggested to use the soap water to fill in the tank and then use the test function to dry out all these liquids inside. And then the last time you need to wash it again with clean
Yeah.
water.
Yep.
Okay, the best thing is the last thing is to dry out all these liquids inside. Don't let the liquids store inside and to go overnight.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for Jeff's explanation on the system. So, is there any questions on the maintenance? Peristaltic pumps are used to pump blood in medical
Yeah,
settings.
exactly.
Yeah, because they are so precise.
Yes. So we revolutionarily imported or transplanted this technology to our agriculture drone. That's a very smart idea. And this is actually the most advancing job we have done.
Yes.
And most
Quite innovative.
I would like to tell you that this atomizer spraying technology is also not for agriculture previously.
What is this
It was
for?
for spraying the paints onto the cars.
Okay, wash
Yeah, the car industry.
Yeah. Yeah. So and
So because it can spray very fine droplets and very even onto the
Yeah,
target
evenly.
places. Okay, so we use it to spray with a very limited amount of liquid, but onto a larger amount of crops.
Cool. So, question from Vietnam. P100 motor maintenance tip. I guess it's not related to this part. We will collect it and answer later, right?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we will
Because we
collect
are
it
talking about
and
spray
answer.
system.
Yeah,
Okay.
only spray system at this time.
And someone say that they're impressive about our spray
Thanks,
system.
Robert.
Yes.
Thanks, Robert.
Sure, sure.
Any
They are
more?
revolutionary.
Could you scroll the screen? So if no, we will come to our last part of the power management.
we didn't wait for any question about
Okay, so let's check if we have some questions collected from the Facebook community. Let me check how to clean the spring system. We have actually talked
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
previously.
Soap water and
Yeah,
then clean water.
and do the tubes need to be replaced regularly?
When we talk about the tubes inside
Those
the
aging.
engine tube, the arm tube, just like this, we may need to check it regularly about whether this is stiff or have something
Aging.
blocked inside.
Yeah.
So if you use it for maybe 100 hours or more longer, and you need to check whether they have some kind of symptoms of aging.
Yeah.
So I would like to, but this one, the internal tube inside the peristaltic pump is very important. After certain times of use, they may become stiff, or because they use the rotator to rotate it very fast, and it may become
You need to be smooth.
And when you do the maintenance, you need to inject some Vaseline. Vaseline inside
Vaseline.
to make it lube, so make it
More
rotate more smoothly.
Yep.
So, however, if you find this tube, it becomes stiff and not, especially when you check in your app about the health index of the spray system, it will show you whether this is still healthy enough.
Yeah, normally the numbers are between 1.2 to 1.4.
1.2 to 1.4.
Our audience, they can check the health index through their app.
Your app.
And if the index is out of that 1.2 to between 1.2 and 1.4, it may suggest you to replace this tube inside this peristaltic pump.
So next question, how many acres do the pumps need to be replaced after operation? It's kind of
How many acres? It's also hard to say because it depends on what kind of chemicals you use and how often you use and what and the environment you are using. If you are using for very acid or very corrosive, these kind of chemicals, it may shorten the lifespan of the tubes. So it depends. I would like to suggest that you just need to check it more often.
Yeah, so it's just check the healthy index for our pump. If the healthy index is not between 1.2 and 1.4, first you need to do the calibration, and then if it is still not between these two numbers, first you need to, just as Jeff said, you need to replace the tube. And then if it still cannot get that point, you need to change the pump, the whole pump. So check it regularly, not just the process. It's just not depends on the how many hectares, acres or you have operated.
Okay. Someone asked that if one of the nozzles is broken, and how do we do the check or the troubleshoot?
I would like to suggest a very common practice about checking the nozzles, motors, or pumps. That's about cross-testing. It's very easy, actually, because we have this control hub. So all you need to do, just like this, this one is connected to the nozzle, and you can exchange this nozzle to another port. And check
if
whether this can work. Okay, this one is not that one. Okay, this one. And check whether this nozzle can still work normally. If it doesn't, so it means that it is the problem of the nozzle itself, because the hub, the whole system is working fine, because the another one is working. However, it stops working. That means that maybe there's some problem with this board. Okay. Spray board.
Okay. Yasmin, someone asked a question about our spraying system.
How often do you need to calibrate?
It's not about a frequency to calibrate our system. If you are using the same chemical, same liquid, you don't need to calibrate every time. However, if you need to change a very different chemical, such as those chemicals, very thick
Yeah.
chemicals with very
hard
dense,
to
and you have to do the calibration again, okay, to use the target liquid to do the calibration.
Okay. So
And another suggestion is that if you have changed a pump, and you need to do the calibration, so it's not about frequency.
And or you find there it's not the flow rate is not precision. For example, you want to 10 liters per hectare, but the result is 8. So you may calibrate the sparing system.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So, is there anyone have any questions? So if no, we will come to our last. Okay, time from Vietnam. I guess sometime the spray system not work perfect. The drum auto return with over 3 to 4 liters in the tank. Low liquid message on the app. The question about P40.
Yeah, this question, it's a known problem. As a matter of fact, I have to admit that we have come across encountered such such problems in other countries too.
Yeah, we have already knows about this question.
Actually, this is about the firmware system, and also we are working on that. We have our R&D team; they are working hard on this, and we are going to develop a new firmware to fix this problem.
Yeah.
However, we also, in this opportunity, in this occasion, I would like to ask our colleagues and our partners here, please do the calculation and all the records about. We
give
are
it to
asking
us.
people.
Yeah, we will already ask you, so please give it back to us.
We have a question sheet about that.
We know that. So let's come to the last part, the power management. So let's make
Okay,
this
good.
back
So I need to bring
the
this one.
board
Yeah.
Battery.
back.
Yeah, the battery. That is very important because it's very expensive.
You need to show this diagram, right?
Yeah, just
May I?
yeah.
No,
Thank you. You can move it.
Now we are.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is it clear from you?
Yes. I think it's clear. Thank you, Yasmin. So the last part is our power system. Yeah, it's about the battery. So actually, the battery is very simple. We have only 4 parts. The first part you can see is the shell, the upper and lower. Okay, that is for protect the whole battery. And the second one is the most important one, the cells. Okay, it is inside the shell, and all the powers, all our drones' powers comes to the cells, and then it comes to here, the main board. Okay, the main board.
Another board.
Yeah, main board. Yeah, another board. So this main board is collecting the information from the cells, and it will control the cells to give the drones powers. And the last one is the plug. Okay, this plug will connect to the drone. We will give the powers to the drone, and if we're connecting to the generators, to the electric chargers, it will charging our batteries. Okay, so that's the whole system. That is very easy. Okay.
Normally, how do you do the maintenance? Like store it?
I will tell you how to do the maintenance. Okay. So for our battery, first it is very expensive, as we know. Yeah, it's quite expensive. So first thing is we need to carefully, okay? When we need to handle it carefully, very carefully, okay? Because you cannot just drop it like this, okay? Because it is when we hit the cells, it may have some deformations, or even it will get on fire. Or if you
dangerous.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. Even you hit it harder, it may have an explosion. So it's very, very. So keep it carefully.
Handle with care.
Yeah, handle with care. That is the first thing. And the second thing is when we use the battery, we need to check 2 things. First thing is we need to check the cells if it is normal. If we found any deformations on the cell, not to use it. It's already broken. Okay.
So we can we can see
How
if
to
it swells up.
Yeah. So this
The
is the first thing.
deformation.
And the second one, we need to check here, the plugs. Because in
The color becomes black.
yeah, right. Because we are doing the agriculture in the operation, they may have many dust will be inside. So we need
Sand.
to watch it if it is clean or not.
Yep.
Because if it is not clean, so when it connects with the drone, you will have the bad connection. Yeah, during the flight, drones cannot be powered very well. So that is very important things. And another thing is our battery have the operation temperature. It is between 10 degrees to 45 degrees. So as we
10 to
know,
45.
yeah, as we know, it's very afraid of high temperature. So when we are using the battery, we charge it not directly under the sunshine. Okay, it may make it very hot, and it will short the life of the batteries. So we must be taking not directly under the sunshine. And we knows we have a
It's like
cooling
we
box.
have the cooling.
Yeah, that's why we
cooling
create
box.
the cooling box to
Make
cool
it
the
cooler.
yeah, make it cooler. Okay, and last one is when we do the storage after, for example, this season is over, and we need to make it have the rest. So at first you need to store it as the temperature 10 to
40.
normally it's just above 10. I think we don't have a environment temperature about 45 degree. People cannot live in there. So normally it just needs to store it above 10 degree because if there are some of countries have the winters, even for example in Russia it's very cold. In winter you just directly put it outside, it will under 0 degree, it will frozen and it will broken. And the second thing is we need to charge it every.
Sorry.
Yo,
Could you pass me the water? Monica.
and last one is you need to store it. When you store it, you need to charge it every 3 months. Or I've already heard someone it finished the job this year and just they put it there, and next year, oh, it's dead. Okay.
So we need to charge it regularly.
Yeah, so we need to charge it at least every 3 months. Charge the battery to avoid it's become dead.
I see. I see.
Okay, that's all.
Okay,
Yasmin.
thank you for Wei Chi's explanation. And we got a question from Funny Love. How to prevent the main board is damaged? Some tip for this problem.
How to?
How to prevent the main board is
Do you mean
I
the
guess-
main board of the battery?
the 主板 is damaged. Some tips.
Because this
The
question
question
is
is
not
a
so
kind of-
clear.
Okay, so next one, what happens if
If
batteries
battery-
are used with outside temperature below 10 Celsius?
At fir-
10 Celsius.
At first, that is why we have the main board. I need to
Oh,
explain
main
that.
board.
Why we have a main board? It will also have the temperature. It can also know temperature about the cells. Okay, if our battery is lower than 10 degree, it will not do the operation. Okay, it will tells you the temperature is for the battery is too low. So at first you need to heat the battery to above the 10 degree, and then you can use it. And during the operation, it will hit by itself.
Yeah.
So the friend asked if it is below than 10 degrees. So first you need to
Heat this up.
heat this up, but not
Above.
not on fire. Not it's on fire.
Charge-
Okay?
Put it
Can I
on the,
charge
maybe in
it
the
to make
car.
it-
You can charge, but it's already charged, full charge. How to do that? You need to hit it.
You want to
So
heat
just put it
it.
in the car or in the
Yeah,
warm room
Yes,
and
yes.
just to heat it up.
Yes, to heat it up,
Okay.
not directly to put it below 10 degree. Okay.
Maybe use a hair dryer.
Yeah. Oh no.
Another question from Jane is this BMS is balance charge or active balance? What's the meaning of BMS?
Battery management system is
Oh.
balanced or charged.
Yeah. I just want. I think he wants to charge it. He wants to ask if the charger will make the cells on balance, right?
Yeah,
Charger,
sure.
sure,
The-
of course.
It has the BMS
Yeah,
inside.
yeah. That
The
is
board,
on
that is the board.
board, yeah.
Okay, so it will surely ensure the charging is balanced.
I saw one very tricky question. How many charge cycles are the batteries good for?
That is
Hard to say.
that is very hard to say how many cycles for the batteries, because the batteries depends on a lot of things. First, it depends on I already said, it depends on the temperature. If you always use it as the hot temperature, high temperature, maybe the life will be short. And if you didn't take it carefully, just as I said, you just drop it like this, it may broken just one cycle. So normally, we can say normally our battery, if you use it as the normal situation, using the cooling box and you charge it well and don't make it discharge, because normally our battery our drone will return automatically when it is have 25%. But if you use the manual control, it will have until 10%, it will land automatically, but it will over discharge for the battery, and that will hit the battery, short the life of it. And so, as we said, 1 year normally we can the battery can use it 1 year normally. Not
and we have 1 year warranty. In domestic market.
Market. So that is 1 year. So it's not just depends on the cycles. Okay.
Yeah, if you use it carefully, handle with care, and use it in a mild environment, and that would be
like more than 3 years,
and it will last longer. However, if you use it without care and drop it and maybe use a very high voltage and discharge it very often,
the life will be short.
Okay, is there any more questions from the audience watching now? If no, we will answer the questions we collected before in our Facebook community. Okay, Hungary, all models, if discharge goes below 10%, is there any maintenance or repair kit? It's kind of
actually, if it's just a one time, it's lower than 10%. Maybe it's not hit. It will not directly dead. Our main board will judge the cells voltage. Okay, so that is why we have a main board. So I just say just not often do like that. Just if you just one time to 10%, maybe it will not happen directly to your battery. It will not dead directly. So
if
do not often do it.
It will hurt a lot. So next one, why the battery plug is heating up?
Yeah, I guess that because sometimes when during operation,
it's really hot.
The poles of the plugs will go to very high temperature. That's normal, or?
First, it's normal when its temperature is going up below the environmental temperature. That is normal. But if it is very high, that is not normal. So that is why I ask you to check it every time when you use the battery. If there are bad connection between the tail plug and the battery plug, so it will you will overcurrent, so you may make the high temperature. That is why. So you need to check it when you use it.
And the tail plug and this plug.
Yes, yes. The tail plug and this plug you need to check.
Because the poor contact will cause this kind of very high current, strong current, and that will raise the temperature of the battery and especially the plugs.
During operation, the opposite contact burns due to overheating.
Yeah, that's also the same question about the whether this is clean enough.
And the question from Ukraine, XP 2020, there are options to replace cells, energy storage parts of the battery on a domestic market to repair the battery, when this might be available for overseas. It's kind of a question not related to
it is a good question. No, actually, theoretically, you can change the cell, but when we separate the cell in the transport, it is very dangerous. So that is why we cannot make it to the overseas market, because during the transportation, it's dangerous.
Forbidden.
It's forbidden. So no one will take the cells.
Only the cell, because it's very dangerous.
You can take the battery because it's already protected by the shell. But if you just separate it to make the transport, it's forbidden. So we cannot, but we can make it here in China. We can transport it in domestic.
Thank you, Valerie. Okay, did anyone have any more questions? If no, let's see the questions collected before. How is? I guess many of them we have answered that.
Yeah. Or
How
maybe
long does it take for a battery to be fully charged?
that depends
The-
what kind of charger and what kind of situation. For the electric chargers, it is 18 minutes. For the generator, for the GC4000 Plus, it's 11 minutes, but it depends on the temperature.
Okay.
If the temperature is high, the time will be long. And
I see.
so that is why we suggest you to use in the cooling box when it's very hot.
Okay. Another question is not only about the power management, is like, are there any other components that should be changed proactively, even if they are not damaged? Do in advance if they are
Actually, we only have the motors. We need to change it when we have 200 hours operation. And other parts, if you check it already, it is normal. You can continue to use it. It doesn't have the time or schedule to change the, for example, the propellers I've already said.
I would like to know whether this peristaltic pump, this nozzle,
peristaltic.
central fuel nozzle, do they need to replace?
Actually, yes, it has a life, but we have a
To
list.
replace it in advance?
No, actually we have a list already sent it in the X-Care group. We have a suggestion to suggest you how many hectares you need
The
to
expected
check.
lifespans of
Yeah,
each
yeah.
components,
Yeah.
and how long you need to check, and
Yeah.
how long is better suggested, how long to replace these components.
And I
we
have
a list.
Also a suggestion. I think maybe a lot of our users and distributors may wants to ask how long do I need to do
Yeah.
the maintenance?
Maintenance.
How long?
The frequency?
The frequency. But actually, I think we didn't have a frequency. In my suggestion, you know when you do the operation, it may raining some days. You will stop to operation, and that days you can do the maintenance. And after every season, for example, for the corps, they may have the 2 or 3 seasons to have do the operation. Then there were some rest of the seasons. Between the seasons, and between these seasons,
Okay.
between this rest, you can do the maintenance. And at the end of this year and end of the season, you can also do the maintenance. So there are not a regular schedule for it. Okay, if you want, you can check it every day, but I think that is not possible. So I suggest you when you have a rest, you can check all the things.
And I think those fans of drones, they can actually disassemble our drones and
Every day.
do some kind of research study how it works and
Yeah.
what's the hub for and how they are connected and all these kind of jobs, and you can learn a lot. But that's, of course, that depends on whether you are interested in this kind of
Yep.
industry. That's also a good suggestion, I think.
Okay, does anyone have more questions? If no, our live stream this time will come to an end. Did anyone have more questions? Okay.
Where is the list? The list we have already shared to our distributors. If you are a user, you can ask our distributor to find
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry if there are questions that have not been answered, we will collect them and select some commonly asked questions, and in the next time live stream we will set some time to answer them. So please, how do we reach you?
Reach us.
We have
What do you mean?
WeChat group. We have
We have
Facebook.
Facebook.
You can actually you can
And-
message us in our Facebook community, the group. The group name is Global XAG Agricultural Drone.
At first, the troubleshooting at first needs to ask our distributor. Okay.
Yeah.
We already have the trainings for our
Distributor
distributors for the
And
troubleshooting.
technical support.
Yeah.
And we will provide sufficient technology support for our distributors, and they
Okay.
will help you locally because we have time difference. You know,
Yeah.
it's now here in about 5 o'clock here in China. However, maybe here in your country, it's about maybe in the morning or
Yeah.
at night. So
Yeah.
the best way is to contact the local distributor.
Okay, thank you all the people, and thank you Weichi and Jeff for the answering all the questions, and thank you for your comment and active participation. If you are interested in our live stream series Gyro Talk, please subscribe our channel X Gyro, and you can also join our Facebook community, the group, and more highlights in the future. Look forward to see you next time. See you.
See you.
Bye.
再见，再见。
拜拜，再见。
Bye.
大家好，Bravo。